Good morning everybody and welcome to my vlog. My name is James Cook and today I want to talk about e-mobility, personal electric transport. And in aid of that, me and my fiance are going to head off and meet up with Mark and hopefully go for a nice ride round a lake. We'll see. It's nice weather at the moment, so let's get cracking. Hi Mark!
Hello.
Getting the old Go cycles out.
I'm alright, how are you?
See ya. I'm alright.
So here we are, we're at Mark's, fantastic. And I just want to talk a little bit about e-mobility. So what I really want in life, if I'm going to be completely honest with you, is some electric scooters because they're really, really small. I can just keep it in the car and get it out and use it when I want it for that sort of last mile transport. You know, if I go to a city, rather than parking and riding on the bus, I can use my own transport to get in and out, that sort of thing. And I've been wanting something like this for years. The problem is that electric scooters are illegal, or at least privately owned ones, in this country at the moment. In fact, the only way to get anything that is legal in this country and powered by an electric motor and isn't a motor vehicle that requires insurance, MOT, tax, etc., is if it's got pedals. You have to be able to pedal it. It's got to be an electric bicycle because they have a specific exemption. So that's exactly what I have bought. I bought a 16-inch folding electric bicycle originally. This was about 8 years ago or something, and that was quite good, but it took up the whole boot. It didn't fold in a very compressed way. It just sort of got smaller, basically. I'll see if I can find a picture of it, because it's quite an interesting, fun bike, but it was quite big and not that comfortable to ride, didn't have any suspension, that sort of thing. So I started down the electric skateboard route. Now this is mainly because of Casey Neistat. If I'm completely honest, he was always on an electric skateboard. It always looked like great fun. This was about 5-6 years ago, so not very many people were using electric skateboards and scooters, which meant the police by and large had no clue what the law was. The government didn't seem to really know. It was all very grey area and you could basically get away with it just fine and dandy for a while, and I really enjoyed that. You know, especially eventually I ended up I had a Slick Revolution board which I liked very much, and I ended up after that getting an Evolve sort of all-terrain wheel electric skateboard, which was amazing. I do still miss that. It's a real shame that they're not legal, but as I don't have a private estate with miles and miles of track that I can enjoy the thing on, there really would be no point. So I sold that and I got a 20-inch wheel folding electric bike, which I love this bike, it's great. It had suspension, it had 20-inch wheels, which makes the whole ride sort of quite comfortable. It folded into a reasonably compact package. It had gears. I do still really like that bike. However, it did still take up, you know, half of the room in the back unless I put the seats down. Well, you know, if I put the seats down, it takes up half the room, and that meant that there wasn't really any room to put a second bike in without it being enormously awkward, or meaning that I couldn't take very many people or any luggage or a dog or anything. So basically, because I now have my new partner and I wanted to try and get her into cycling, I felt like I needed something smaller so that I could put two in the back without having to take the baby seats out and put the seats down. It means that in the summer I should be able to fit both the folding bikes in and Jasper's bike, and we can all go to a forest and have a nice day cycling there. And I just want to try and make the most of sort of good outdoor exercise where possible. Now the bike that I've ended up with is one that I have actually been looking at for a few years. It's a UK company that I think they sort of founded in 2019, so it's all relatively recent. The actual frame is a sort of, I'm not quite sure where it comes from, but you can find other bikes around the world that use the same frame, or certainly a very similar frame, but they seem to have finished it and put decent components on, and it seems like a good package. And it's the Mirider One. It's a 16-inch wheel bike with rear suspension only, and it doesn't have any gears, which is not ideal, but we'll get to that in a minute. There were non-electric folding bikes that I could have gone for, and they certainly do tend to be more compact. The problem there is V has Ehlers-Danlos syndrome, which means effectively it affects connective tissue. It means that her joints are not particularly strong. So cycling, I want to try and make it so she has to put the minimum amount of effort in possible, but we can still go out together and have a fun day somewhere. And therefore an electric bike is really the only way. And I wanted it to have a cadence sensor so that she can basically ride it without putting any pressure into the pedals if that's what she wants. Also, she's quite short, so it was also quite important that the actual bike frame would support somebody who is, you know, only about 5 feet tall. So, and the Mirider One ticked all those boxes. Let's have a bit of a look. Mark, come check this out. So we've got the baby seats in the back, and the bikes are just, look, cool. There you go. I tried to secure them so they don't rattle around. Wow. Yeah, I'm quite happy with them. I'm very happy with how they fit in the back of the car. That's a real win.
Gears wise? Single speed?
Nope, single speed, yeah.
Single speed.
Which is the downside, but it does have that throttle that will sort of get you going.
Yeah.
And it works as a boost as well. So if you're sort of not in full power and you're pedaling, you can use the throttle and it will give you the extra zap, if you see what I mean. Yeah, let's get him out.
They're tiny.
Yep, that is literally the whole point. I was perfectly happy with my other bike, but it took up almost this much room on its own. Right, let's get these out. The other nice thing is they're not too heavy, which makes a change. 17 kilos. So I mean, they don't weigh nothing. They're electric bikes, but, and they're magnetically, oh, hang on a minute. They lock together magnetically at the back, which is a really handy little feature. I did actually upgrade these pedals to all metal ones. There we go. Feel the weight. It's not too bad, is it?
No. They deploy very similar to the Go cycle, don't they?
Yeah. Well, it's a good way.
There's so many ways you can fold a bike.
Yeah, there's the Brompton way, which is certainly different. We're going to go for a little cycle now. Quick wheel comparison. That's the Go Cycle's 20-inch wheel. And yeah, I mean, you can see the difference between 16 and 20 inches, that's for sure. But it is actually surprisingly comfortable to ride because it's got that rear suspension there. So yeah, it's not too bad. Range-wise, I don't know. It's not as good as my old bike, that's for sure. But then the battery is almost half the size. It's about 187 watt-hours, I think, in this battery. And also because it doesn't have gearing, it can be more difficult to do actual manual cycling. So there are definite downsides, but equally, there's some big upsides. It's, you know, it's definitely the next step down in folded size from my old bike. It's all right, brakes. It's a bit of a sort of cycling proficiency test. Just carry on going to where you get to Mark, and then we'll cross over.
Right, so straight down that way.
Straight down.
No.
Okay.
Watch the duck.
It's not the duck.
The duck is less important than you. If it doesn't move, it's its fault. Just keep going, the duck's not going to get in your way. Oi. Yeah, so the range on this bike is sort of 20 odd miles, I think, 25 miles. We'll see if I get that or not. Proper cyclists. I can see lunch up ahead. These bikes are, as you might expect, very popular with motorhome and sort of van life type people because they fold down so small. Okay, it's a bit chilly out here, so we're going to just go inside. It's not going to work, Mark. I'm not buying one.
You need this in your life. In here.
It does look like a nifty bit of kit.
Phone holder.
You walk down this bit, otherwise I end up in the lake.
Have a lovely afternoon.
You too, thank you so much.
Yeah, don't end up in the lake.
No.
Apparently they've got otters here. It's a bit of a deceptive time of the year at the moment, because when the sun is out, it's really nice and warm. When the sun goes in, it's chilly today. It's a chilly day. Shame we didn't see the otters. Oh, it's just been amazing. And V seems to be getting the hang of the old bike, which is handy, because, you know, if you've never ridden one before, it's a little bit of an experience, shall we say? Ooh! You went round that corner well. She's getting the hang of it. Fantastic. Literally barely ever ridden before. And with those small wheels, obviously it does make it a little bit twitchier as a bike. But it seems like she's getting on really well. Oh, that reminds me actually, I wanted to tell you about the thumb throttle. I think that is really handy on this bike. So because of UK legislation, the thumb throttle is not able to actually, here we are, I need to use it. So we're going up. No, no. So because of UK legislation, it won't power you along unless you're pedalling. Then it acts as a boost, pushing this up to level 5 over here. And if you're not, if you're stationary, like this, then it works as a sort of help you walk it type thing, or to help you set off, which is really helpful for V because it makes it much easier to get going. You enjoying it? How you doing, V?
Really good, I'm really enjoying it.
Awesome. Not too much like torture then.
No.
Good. So is that your first proper cycle ride then?
Yeah.
Awesome. Well done. Enjoy it?
I did, yeah.
Would you recommend a Mirider One?
I would.
Oh, there we go.
Very helpful.
The rake of that steering is twitchy as hell.
Yeah, you have to get used to it. Tiny wheels.
You've got, yeah, 16-inch wheels and a rake so sharp you can get yourself on it. I would have one of these. So I'll just put it up to Lazy Man's 5.
I think that pretty much brings the fun and games for today to a close. I hope you've all enjoyed today's video. If you have, remember to leave a like and share it and subscribe if you haven't already. You can follow me on Instagram and Twitter if you like. The links are in the description. I want to say a big thank you to my Patreon supporters because you guys are awesome. I'll see you all in the next episode of my vlog. Bye.